We can lose up to 10% of our muscle mass and strength by the time we reach our 50s. By the time we get to about our 70s or 80s, we can lose a pretty significant amount of muscle and strength. And this is a big deal because that means we can experience an increase in bone loss, a reduction in insulin sensitivity, and it increases the risk of falls as we get older. The good news is we can slow the rate of this loss way down, and in some cases we can even reverse it. And the most effective way we can do this is through resistance training. If it's been a while since you've engaged with an exercise program, I recommend starting with just movement. And that could be walking, that could be playing with your dog, that could be dancing, anything where you're moving your body. Choose an activity and schedule that you have the least amount of resistance committing to. This helps you establish a reasonable and sustainable movement practice. Once you have this regular practice, you can gradually introduce resistance training into your routine as you feel ready for more challenging exercises. When we're talking about exercises to build strength and muscle, we're actually training. So these aren't just random workouts. So we want to pick at least 2 days a week that you can commit to training. This will give the body enough stimulus to keep building and growing. And we want to focus on exercises such as squats, hinges, push-ups, and instead of trying to change the exercises all the time, it's better to just keep increasing and progressing the exercises. Let's use the squat as an example. This is a really good choice for a lower body exercise. And even though the emphasis is on the lower body, you're getting a workout pretty much from the shoulders down. To start, you want to find a version of the squat that is accessible to you. And you can use assistance, you can use body weight. And I would start off with doing just one set. Do one set of anywhere from 5 to 10 repetitions. Once you pick an exercise and you start becoming proficient in it, that's when you're going to want to change things up. So in our squat example, if you've been using a support, you might consider taking that support away. And if that becomes easy, then you can start removing height from your platform that you're sitting down on. And once that becomes easier, then you'll want to think about adding external load, weights. And that could be actual weights like dumbbells, or you can just fill a bag with books or objects around the house and hug that to your chest and use that to create more load. So while strength training is a really important piece of building strength and muscle mass, there's some other things you have to do. We have to consider nutrition, recovery, and sleep. So let's start with nutrition first. First of all, you gotta make sure you're eating enough. We're talking about building. We're talking about increasing muscle mass and strength. And in order to build, we need building materials. One of the most important things you can do is make sure you're getting enough protein. And as we age, we just don't utilize protein as efficiently or effectively as we did when we were younger. So we're gonna need a little bit more. The easiest way to start, especially if you're not getting enough protein, is just to use your hand. Just eat a palm size at every meal. Another important piece to building muscle and strength is making sure you get enough recovery and sleep. If you're looking at exercise programs and there's lots and lots of exercise all the time and no breaks, that is not helpful. You actually do need the downtime for your muscles to repair and rebuild. This can be done a couple of ways. There can be just pure passive rest, which is exactly what it sounds like. You know, maybe you're just sitting on the couch, just relaxing, and that's one kind of rest. There's another kind of rest, which is called active recovery. And this can be done while you're taking a walk, even doing chores around the house. Anything where movement is involved is active recovery. I recommend we take 2 days between training sessions, and at least one. As we age, we just need more recovery time, not less. So always err on the side of too much recovery time than not enough. It's gonna make you feel more excited about coming to your next training session as opposed to feeling sore and depleted. Now, it's really important to talk about sleep here, because without sleep, doesn't matter how much you train or what you're eating, you're just not gonna get the results that you want, because it is that important. Sleep is where the repair and the growth happen. So how do you know if you're getting enough sleep? Well, instead of worrying about what time you go to bed, I would pay more attention to, do you feel rested when you wake up? Everyone needs a different amount of sleep. Some people can feel well rested on 6 hours of sleep, others need 10. You just have to decide what that is for you. And the best way to tell is how you feel in the morning. So in summary, if you want to build strength and muscle mass, you'll want to prioritize these things. If you haven't exercised in a while, you'll want to start with a movement practice. So this could be walking, dancing, anything that gets you moving around and gets you into a practice of showing up to do that movement. Then when you're ready to move on, you'll want to strength train at least twice a week. And remember, pick exercises that are accessible to you and that you can progress over time, and start small and easy. The next thing you want to do is you want to prioritize your nutrition, remembering to get at least a palm size of protein at every meal. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to prioritize that rest and recovery. Make sure you're getting the sleep you need so that your body can build the muscle and strength that you're looking for. While we may not be able to completely eliminate muscle and strength loss as we age, we can definitely slow down the rate of that loss. And especially if you're new to strength training, there's a possibility that you might be even stronger and carry more muscle mass than you ever have in your life. There's literally nothing to lose and everything to gain. So that's it for this video. If you found it helpful, please give it a like. And if you'd like more weight neutral fitness content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.